Good morning.
The students will do the session themselves.
That's good.
Yeah, but so good to see you. I'm here.
Okay.
Good morning, Mr. Irfan. My name is Amina. I'm one of the students of Eurasian National University, and we have some questions about Pakistan, and we're really interested in this session. So if you're ready, we're ready too. Would like to.
Yeah, good morning, and yes, we can start. And I must say sorry for yesterday. I could not make it yesterday because of a short travel. And it's always glad to talk to our friends, our youngsters, especially from Kazakhstan. And I'm here at your disposal for next about 45 minutes. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much. So we start with our first question. It is the question sounds like, what are the current relations between Pakistan and the United States, and what factors influence their development?
Thank you. Yeah, we start right away, and I have seen some of your questions. We can go one by one. And when we talk about United States may not be the sole superpower of today, but United States remains a very important major power for every country of the world. And same is the case for Pakistan. Pakistan views United States as one of its primary relationships. It has been there for this year. Pakistan and United States are celebrating actually 75th anniversary of their bilateral relations. But at the same time, this relationship has never been symmetric. This relationship has never been a relationship between two equal partners. We should be very clear about that. We have heard too much about Pakistan-United States relationship being strategic. But there are some people like me, including me, who always believe that United States and Pakistan's relationship has always been transactional, not strategic. Okay. And what do we mean by transactional? That we do something for you and you do something for us. This has always been the spirit of Pakistan-United States relationship. And Pakistan has always gone out of its way to support United States objectives. But whenever Pakistan needed United States to help it, United States found many ways, many excuses to stay away from Pakistan and, not come to Pakistan's help. This was witnessed in Pakistan in 1965, in 1971, and beyond that also. So United States has been using Pakistani territory, Pakistan's policies for its own objectives, primarily in South Asia, but also in Southwest Asia, Southwest and Central Asia as a whole as well. So right now the situation is a little bit changed because United States is not the only superpower of the world anymore. And Pakistan is, along with keeping its relationship with United States intact, Pakistan also has very strong relationship with China as well. And Pakistan's relationship with Russia, which is Russian Federation, which is a successor state to Soviet Union, is also getting stronger in recent years. So right now, Pakistan and United States have some issues because there is a feeling which is not actually based on facts in the United States that they help Pakistan and Pakistan is not doing enough for them, particularly in terms of Afghanistan and in terms of anti-terrorism. But in fact, the reality is that whatever they have given Pakistan in the name of help was actually very small compensation, very small reimbursement of the cost that Pakistan had to incur because of helping United States and because of fighting United States wars in this region. So when Trump came in 2017, early 2017, he actually degraded the relationship with Pakistan to its lowest level in almost 7 decades. That continued for 4 years of Trump, but now after Biden administration taking over once again in Washington DC, a little bit of regaining of ground can be witnessed in Pakistan-United States relations, and Pakistan-United States relationship now is primarily focused on stability of the region, military-to-military cooperation, people-to-people contacts, energy cooperation, green development, and also to some extent, it is linked with anti-narcotics cooperation and development of, say, strategies for promoting regional cooperation. So this is the present nature of Pakistan and United States relationship. I would say that it was at the peak pre-Trump period, but during Trump period, it was nose diving to its lowest. And now after Trump has left, Biden is in office, it is once again reclaiming its ground to some extent. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your answer. It was really interesting. And another thing that we're really interested in, it's which regional conflicts affect Pakistan's foreign policy. And in this case, we would like you to explain us the current situation with India and Afghanistan.
Right. Yeah. I think you already have that in your knowledge and in your mind, because Pakistan has two major international disputes that not necessarily Pakistan's making, but they do affect Pakistan and its foreign policy, and particularly. And number one is Kashmir, and we Pakistanis believe that Kashmir is the leftover of history. Kashmir is unfinished business of the partition. Because at the time of partition, the principle of the partition was that if a state has majority population which is Muslim, it will go to Pakistan. If a state has a majority population which is Hindu or Sikh, it will go to India. So that principle was not followed in case of Kashmir. And Kashmiris rose up against illegal Indian occupation. They, liberated part of almost one third to 40% of their land from Indian occupation, which is now associated with Pakistan, but still 60 to 65% of Kashmir, which was a unified state pre-partition, it is under illegal occupation of India. It is illegal even according to United Nations Security Council resolutions, because United Nations Security Council resolutions say that there should be plebiscite. People should be given the right to self-determination. And that right is not given to the Kashmiri people. And Kashmiri people have waged various struggles against Indian occupation. The struggle was, very much globally known in the 1990s and early 2000s. But after the Pulwama incident of February 2019, a new kind of struggle has already been started by Kashmiri people against India's illegal, unconstitutional, inhuman moves in Kashmir. And Pakistan has to support diplomatically, morally, ethically Kashmiris, because they are they are our people, and we Pakistan. But Pakistan, even Indian sources are now saying that Pakistan is not involved in the conflict directly. So Pakistan is actually, today when we are discussing, today is 27th of October, and 27th of October is celebrated in Pakistan, not say celebrated, remembered in Pakistan as the day when India occupied the Kashmir illegally. So it is today is the day that Pakistanis and Kashmiris remember this day, and we Pakistanis and majority of international observers, they also believe that unless there is any solid, visible movement on Kashmir issue, the relations between Pakistan and India will not be normalized. And when relations between Pakistan and India will not be normalized, it will mean that there will be no stability in South Asia. That is short. On the Western side, Pakistan has faced the issue of Afghanistan for almost 44 years now, because first Soviet Union attacked Afghanistan in December 1979, and Pakistan was seen as the next destination. So Pakistan was left with no option but to help Afghans defend themselves against the Soviet Union. So this is the spirit. We look at the Afghan situation, but once the Soviet Union left, then there was infighting in Afghanistan between the Afghan rivals, between Northern Alliance and Taliban primarily, and then 9/11 happened, 20 long years. We saw United States occupation, but still there was no stability. And for last 2.5 years, we have seen that Taliban have taken control once again. But again, what we see in Afghanistan, I say that it is absence of war. It is not peace. So absence of war is not necessarily peace. Pakistan is well aware of that situation in Afghanistan is partially under control of Taliban. There is no infighting between the Afghans, but it does not mean stability and long-term peace. So we continue to push our Afghan counterparts, brothers, for inclusive government, for ensuring the rights of minorities and women, especially. We also continue to call upon them that please ensure that your soil is not used against third countries. And Pakistan is one of the major victims when Afghanistan's soil is used against the other countries. Right now, anti-terrorists, anti-Pakistan terrorists, they are hiding, they are holding up in Afghanistan's border areas with Pakistan, and they continue to stage attacks on Pakistan's security forces from there. So this affects Pakistan to a large extent. And Pakistan is working with Taliban government in Kabul, in provinces also, to resolve this issue.
Mhm. Thank you so much for your answer. I would like to ask my colleagues to present their questions. So,
Please.
Good morning, Dr. Irfan. Thank you for
Good morning.
So I have some question about the
Please.
current relationships between Pakistan and China. So my question is, how does Pakistan manage its relationship with China, and what are the major projects and agreements between two countries?
Right. The relationship with China is the largest, the biggest, the most important success story for Pakistan, Pakistan's foreign policy. So we should start by saying this. So it is most trusted all-weather relationship that Pakistan has with any other nation. And more importantly, the relationship between Pakistan and China is also a model for relationship between any two developing nations. When China needed Pakistan, Pakistan helped them to reach out to international community, to become connected with the rest of the world, to become active member of international bodies, particularly United Nations. And Chinese keep that in mind. So when Pakistan needed Chinese help, China grew stronger and richer. Chinese also continue to help Pakistan. So the countries have very strong strategic, economic, political, diplomatic, and people-to-people relationship. Right now, the largest project is China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, under which China is investing some $60 to $100 billion in Pakistan. And out of that, during past 10 years, almost $30 billion have already been invested in Pakistan, right, by China. So China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, CPEC, is one of the largest and most active components of China's Belt and Road Initiative, right? But CPEC is not the only project right now between Pakistan and China, because Pakistan and China have very active and very large nuclear cooperation also. Pakistan and China also have a very sizable defense cooperation between their militaries, between their navies, between their air force. Pakistan and China are building jointly the JF-17 Thunder aircraft, which is a very effective combat aircraft. And as far as I know, even our Kazakh friends are very much interested in that aircraft, and maybe there will be some movement in that regard. Similarly, Pakistan and China are also building the naval warships together, naval frigates together. But you don't need that in the Caspian. We are well aware of that. That is between Pakistan and China. But to say the least, the relationship between Pakistan and China is very strong, and Pakistan looks to further cement it, further strengthen it in coming years, in coming decades, and it will be good for Pakistan. So Pakistan-China relationship is not against any third country. It is not harming any third country, but it is beneficial bilaterally as well as regionally. Because one example is that China-Pakistan economic corridor that we are building through Xinjiang. So I also name it for our Kazakh friends that it can be 3K corridor. What is 3K? It can be Khorgos, it can be Karakram, it can be Karachi. So this very corridor, CPEC, it can also become Khorgos to Karakram to Karachi corridor. So it is China-Pakistan relationship is also regionally beneficial.
Yeah, thank you for your answer. It was so informative, and I can surely say that I found answers to my questions. So
Thank
I
you.
have another question related
Please.
to Shanghai Cooperation Organization. And as we know, Pakistan became a member of this organization in 2017. And
Yes.
from that period, what initiatives and relations does Pakistan have with this organization?
Well, from today, actually from yesterday, Pakistan is now chairperson of the Council of Heads of Government of Shanghai Cooperation Organization. So the next meeting of heads of the government will also be held in Pakistan sometimes next year. But Pakistan is very active in SCO because Pakistan has very strong relationship with all SCO members except India. So I would repeat that Pakistan's relationship with all SCO members except India is very strong. Diplomatically, politically, even economic relations are getting stronger. But Pakistan wants to see Shanghai Cooperation Organization as an effective organization which plays its role to resolve all the outstanding issues between its members on one hand, and SCO should also become a regional organization, a trans-regional organization, which should ensure peace, stability, and development in hotspots like Afghanistan. Pakistan also believes that SCO should increase its anti-terrorism cooperation as well as economic, energy, and commercial cooperation. So Pakistan has given several proposals to make SCO more effective, and it's good that SCO is moving in achieving some of those objectives. But overall, as an observer, I would say that SCO is it has very large and vast membership, but so far it is one step, two steps short of the actual role it must be playing here.
Yeah, thank you for your answer. So
Yes.
turn of other students. So
Yeah, sure, please.
Hello, Mr. Irfan.
Hello.
My name is Diana, and I have one question for you. How does Pakistan address the issue of terrorism and its impact of international relations, particularly with Western countries?
Thank you. Pakistan is a victim of terrorism. We should start by saying Pakistan is one of the largest victims of terrorism. Pakistan has lost thousands of soldiers and civilians in its war against terrorism. And Pakistan, a few years ago, it was estimated that Pakistan's economic loss in war against terrorism is more than $100 billion. Let me share it with you that if there was no terrorism in this region, Pakistan would now be the member of G20. Pakistan's economy was growing a few years ago at such a rate that Pakistan had already become the 24th largest economy of this world. So Pakistan was very close to becoming a member of G20 nations, G20 group, but terrorism stopped Pakistan from becoming that much successful economically, strategically. The world sees Pakistan as a country, we are well aware of that, which promotes terrorism. But that depends on how we define terrorism. So you have heard about this notion that one man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter. So one man's terrorist is another man's martyr. So we have to be very clear that I always advise my scholars and students that when discussing, when researching, when writing about issues of international importance, we should also look very carefully that who is theorizing what and who is saying what words about which issue. So I am very convinced that many of the independent movements, indigenous freedom struggles, those are also being labeled as terrorism. So those should not be labeled as terrorism. For example, what is happening in Kashmir, that is struggle of indigenous people, indigenous struggle for getting their right to self-determination. So if Pakistan is seen as a supporter of terrorism because Pakistan supports Kashmiris, so we are not convinced that this is terrorism. But then there are some other issues that Pakistan has also been helping the world community control transnational terrorism in Afghanistan, even in Syria. Even Pakistan has sent observers and military peacekeepers in Africa and faraway states. Pakistan is one of the largest contributors to global peace operations, and much of that was against terrorism. So Pakistan at this point of time is under pressure from world community to do more against terrorism. But at the same time, when it comes to the help that Pakistan needs, that is ammunition, that is weapons, that is training, that is financial resources, the world does not come to help Pakistan as much as Pakistan contributes in global fight against terrorism. So as you started your question, yes, this is a major issue of contention between Pakistan and United States and Pakistan and European nations. But at the level of China, at the level of Russia, and at the level of countries of Central Asia, there is now better understanding of Pakistani perspective vis-a-vis terrorism.
Thank you for the answer. It was very interesting. And another person will ask you a question.
Sure, please.
Hello, Mr. Irfan. I'm Batyrzhan, and I'm glad to see you. And I have some questions. First of this is, what major international organization does Pakistan actively support or participate in?
Yeah. Well, Pakistan is, a very multilateral nation since its beginning. I tell you one example. Pakistan got freedom in August 1947. And next month, in September 1947, Pakistan became not only the member of United Nations, but also General Agreement on Trade and Tariffs, which is now World Trade Organization. So Pakistan is very active in United Nations, in Organization of Islamic Conference, in Economic Cooperation Organization, ECO, in Shanghai Cooperation Organization, in South Asian Cooperation for Regional, South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation, SARC. Also, Pakistan is very active in Group of 77. Pakistan is very much active at the WTO level. Pakistan has been very active in non-aligned movement of developing nations. So there are some other groups and organizations of smaller nature also. Like Pakistan is a member of International Task Force on Maritime Affairs. Pakistan is also member of World Tourism Organization. Pakistan is also member of CAREC, which Kazakhstan is also a member, Central Asian Regional Cooperation Program of the Asian Development Bank. So Pakistan is a founding member of Asian Development Bank, World Bank, IMF, and also Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. Yes, Pakistan's economy is not very strong for past few years. But Pakistan has been trying to make its full diplomatic, strategic, also human resource contribution, and also where needed, Pakistan has also made internationally, Pakistan has made generous economic contribution as well. And another major organization that Pakistan is member of, and I forgot in the initial list, is International Atomic Energy Agency. Pakistan is a very active member of IAEA, and Pakistan plays its due role in that organization as well.
Thank you for such detailed answer to my question. And let's move to another question. What Pakistan role in maintaining peace and stability in South Asia?
This is also partially linked with our previous renditions questions. We in Pakistan believe that unless there is a long-lasting resolution to the Kashmir dispute, according to the wishes and aspirations of Kashmiri people, there will hardly be any stability and lasting peace and normalization in South Asia, particularly between, of course, Pakistan and India. But Pakistan and India relations are 80 to 90% of what South Asian politics and foreign policy is as of now, because these also influence the relationship between Pakistan and other countries and India and other countries as well. So this, in our view, in Pakistani perspective, is the single largest problem that South Asia has to resolve. At the same time, there are also some issues between Pakistan and Afghanistan, and Pakistan and Afghanistan are working together to resolve those issues. Maybe it is the management of border, maybe it is cross-border terrorism, somewhat smuggling, the issue of Afghan refugees in Pakistan, which is very hot these days. So Pakistan and Afghanistan are working together to resolve those issues as well. A little bit of tension between Pakistan and Bangladesh, which actually is a result of the sad, unfortunate episode of 1971 that still continues. But at the same time, both the people of Pakistan and Bangladesh also believe that past is past and now we have to look towards the future. So that feeling can be seen reflected in the level of economic cooperation, particularly trade between Pakistan and Bangladesh, which is continuously increasing. So uh, I would list it once again that Kashmir remains the number one contentious issue in South Asia that needs to be resolved. Pakistan and Afghanistan also need to resolve some of their issues which they are working upon, and a little bit of tension between Pakistan and Bangladesh that Pakistan is also coming forward to resolve once and for all. Otherwise, Pakistan has very active partnerships with other South Asian nations, peaceful, amicable, and they are not only diplomatic, strategic, economic, also people to people as well, and there is no major issue.
Thank you. That was all our interview question. Thank you.
I'm glad. I'm glad, and I must say at the end, as I posted on the Facebook just now, that I'm really glad to interact with these very sharp students, including you, and your questions indicate that you guys, under the guidance of Dr. Akbota Zholdasbekova, you are studying what you must be studying, and you have the right guidance towards the right outcome of this course. I'm glad to be with you.
And my colleague Amina.
I will end our session. So thank you so much for your responses. We learned a lot of important information about Pakistan's aspects of foreign policy. And thank you for taking the time to answer our questions. We look forward to see you again. Thank you.
Inshallah, and at the end, I ask Akbota that make a program of some of these students to visit Pakistan, because now there is only 2 hours flight between Almaty and Islamabad, which is working for past more than 2 months. So traveling is very easy and it's not very costly also. So you should guys plan a study visit to Pakistan sometime next year.
They would be happy. Actually, this is they are dreaming about. We were discussing today that we are applying for some Indian conferences, but you see, the problem is a travel grant as always.
Yeah, that is understandable, and I think we can discuss some possibilities for that as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you for opening our the series of sessions. So you are the very first one, and I guess you will bring luck to our new project. Actually, the project of those wonderful students. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Bye.
Goodbye.